Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and we are here at Guildfield, for pronouncing it wrong, Baptist Church. This actually is a contact that I had originally with another ministry, but they called me, and they were doing some construction here on the church, and they wanted me to get over here and see what we can do to help them out to modernize the media ministry since they're modernizing their church anyway. So let's get inside and let's see what we can do to help them out.
We'll chime in if you miss anything.
Oh yeah, by all means. So this is everything. Actually, from what you see, what you're standing in right now, is phase one of the building project. So which encompasses breezeway, offices, pastor's office. Right down here, another office. Choir room is right there.
Okay. This was at one time right here was the back of the church. The brick was never torn down.
They covered it with sheetrock and stuff. Okay.
This is the breezeway and bathroom. And this is the phase one fellowship hall.
Alright folks, y'all know how we do it. I'm going to do a talk through right now. This one's going to be kind of fun. So we are here in a utility closet right now that we're thinking about turning this into a dedicated media room, which is away from the sanctuary. So right now they have security cameras and stuff like this, but what we're thinking about doing is making this wall right here a station for the audio, put an X32 board or something like that that's going to connect from the sanctuary. This wall would actually have maybe 250 inches, would have the controls for the live stream and everything inside of here. The original sound rack is probably going to go take out maybe 2 of those shelves and it'll just roll up in that direction. This is also most likely going to be tied into, because of the distribution of how everything would work, most likely we'll do a BlackMagic video smart hub, which we just talked about in the video, because that way we just have to run the connections to all of the displays, all of the cameras, and everything will be centralized in that location. That's going to be a feed downstairs as well too. Let me show you the sound rack. So this rack is what's going to contain everything. Everything's going to move back there, and everything's going to be controlled from here. Now inside of the sanctuary here, I'm gonna do maybe 2 75s or 2 70s in the front, another one right there in the center, maybe 2 or 3 PTZ cameras, one in the back, one in the front, another one actually downstairs for the baptismal. That's the beauty of running it over that smart video hub. We can route everything and don't have to worry about that. So instead of having a booth in here, we're gonna be in a room from the fellowship hall, so we don't have to take out any pews and everything. But one person will be in here with an iPad that can control the sound so they can hear it live. We're also going to most likely do some personal mixers as well here for the musicians. They already have 2 speakers, powered speakers, that's going to be hung here. They also have 2 wedges that are going to be for the choir. Get 2 more for the pulpit. Maybe a sub, it all depends, but I think that's going to be good. And y'all see, everything is exposed. Yay, that makes it easy. But I think, for the most part, I think this should be straightforward. I might even go with the a higher version of the ATEM instead of the ATEM Mini Extreme. Maybe do a web presenter, since we have the other functions of that. But you know how we're going to do. I'm going to take you over to the computer. Let's go ahead and design this thing out, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, folks, we are back, and man, I tell you one thing, it is funny how I'm making these videos, because I just talked about the smart video hub, and based off of what we talked about at that church, guess what? That sounds like a prime tool to handle everything that's going to go there in the ministry. So let's go ahead and crack open Draw.io and let's go ahead and design this thing. Alrighty, folks, we are here, and let's go ahead and get started. Now, this is going to be really unique because they want to utilize as much space as possible in the ministry. So that means downstairs will be used, the fellowship hall will be used, as well as the sanctuary. So we're going to add a bunch of things to this. So I'm going to have a very big kind of design here. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do a X32. I'm probably still going to use the compact in the room that's going to be the closet, the storage area that's going to be turned into a dedicated media room. So we're going to be using that for sound. We also have their existing sound system that's in the sanctuary is going to be repurposed and be the sound system for the fellowship hall. So I think that was a Soundcraft. And it's only a 16 channel. Right now, they're only using kind of like a small Mackie or Behringer or something like that. That's only 4 channels. This will allow them to not just throw away the sound system that they have, but repurpose it and give it more functionality to the one that's inside. I mean, for all the connections available there in the fellowship hall. So the idea is maybe they want to rent that space out to another ministry. They could use that and have all the connections that they need for more wireless mics, instruments being plugged in, everything like that. All right. So the very first thing is we want this sound, and the good thing is these are going to be close. So this might be, I don't know, 1/4 inches or whatever, even XLR that will feed into this. And this will be the feed so that if there was an overflow, the audio that's going from the compact will just go directly to that soundboard and use all of the speakers there in that part of the room. All right. Right now, they are going to use, they already have 2 speakers that are powered. So that saves some stuff right now. This is now going to be in the sanctuary. Let's make this a little smaller. So these are going to be the main speakers for the sanctuary. And all we have to do, since they're powered, they need power, obviously. And then they're going to come and be routed back. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Just had a lapse there for a second. So these are going to be main left. Oh, that's weird how they did the speakers like that. I mean, the text like that. And then this is going to be main right. So those are the speakers there. But then they're also going to have 2 wedges that are going to be for the choir. So this will be choir right, choir left. And then we're going to add another set just for the pulpit. All right, so that's pulpit left and pulpit right. All right, now with all of that, of course, with this compact, we're going to add in a digital snake so that we don't have to worry about running all these cables back there. So that'll be an S16. I don't think we will need more connections than that, but you never know. So these are going to be all our outs going to each one of these channels. And maybe I should have split this up to make it nice and neater here. Because, this, and most of y'all might not know, these designs are what I send to the ministries as well, too. So they actually see what everything would be as well, too. So there is a reason for me to do this. And this is what I use so that I know and can recall what I'm actually doing in the setup here. All right. So these are going to be our outs. Let's speed through this real quick. All right. Now, the beauty of this, obviously, we only need to have one Ethercon cable go all the way back here. And that will be the bridge. That's all we got to worry about. And then the local, since the live stream is going to be happening from this room, I don't have to worry about this. I only got to send one cable there and then have everything plugged into there. We need more jacks, get another S16, link them together like we did at Abundant Life, and then boom, there we go. Which reminds me, do I supposed to be at Abundant Life today? No, that's actually tomorrow, so yay. I didn't want to end up stopping the video because I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be somewhere. All right, so that's how that will be connected. Now, we'll also, whatever mics they have, they actually already have some GTD audio, so we don't have to worry about that. Instruments, everything will plug in. We got 16 channels, which is more than enough because their current board only had 16. So from right there, we can connect, and then we can, like I said, add another S16 if need be. All right. Now, we're also looking at doing maybe 3 70 inches in there. And this is going to, this whole setup is going to get really crazy here in a little bit. Maybe I'll just put it, this is going to be a big design. So I'll do it like this. So we got a sanctuary back. Sanctuary left, sanctuary right. All right, and then we also are going to do 3 cameras, 3 PTZs. Front PTZ. Back PTZ. I'll say side PTZ. All right. Now, everything is going to be controlled from that room. So the joystick and everything is going to be over here. So that's why we're going to go with an IP-based one. So we don't need to daisy chain these all the way back. We just give internet access over there, and then they'll be able to see each other. So that's going to make that easy. So we're most likely going to add a maybe a 16 port switch. We don't need to go too much overboard there. And I did talk to them about doing a Unify and Wi-Fi. They said they already have it, so I just left that alone. We are going to put a PoE switch on that side of the building. But then just a regular switch will go on this side. All right. So let's go ahead and connect everything up here. And I already put some cables under the floor just to have a pull string. So hopefully that will help me when they seal up everything, because I think they're going to move pretty fast on this because the walls are exposed, as you saw, which is going to make running cable very, very, very easy. So I might not need to run all the way back here. Actually, I probably will because all the networking stuff is there. So we got that here. And the good thing is that's pretty much it. Now, what are we going to use for this? I'm still trying to decide between this. It's all going to be on budget. But if I didn't have to be too concerned about the budget, I'm actually going to use something unique in this setup. I'm actually going to use the ATEM Production Studio 4K. And the reason why is because that is SDI only. And it's one connection for HDMI in. So that could be just for scripture running back from there. And I don't have to worry about all the converters. Now, the importance of that is we are looking at doing a 20 by 20 smart video hub for the same reasons that we talked about before. All of these connections, the camera and everything has SDI. We're going to use a SDI to HDMI converter on the TVs, on each one of the TVs. All right, like so. And everything is going to be connected back to here with 8 lines. Well, actually, the production 4K has 10 line ends, but we're not going to use all of them. We're just going to do 8 connections here. And since it's SDI, we don't have to worry about converters back and forth. So that's going to be 8 inputs. So we're going to run 1. And that's the input. And let's change this so we know which one is which. Now I'm going to keep that one solid. And I want to do a different color so that we know which one is which. But anyway, let's do all of our line ends here. All right, those are all our, those are all inputs, and then we're going to have outputs going to each one of the TVs here, and I need to pick a different color here. Let's do this. I don't know. That's too close in color. We'll do this for our outputs. Now, for the very same reason that we talked about in the video that I will tag up here, this is the reason why we're doing this. And actually, yeah, I changed this because that color was too dark. Now, we're going to explain this after we do this whole thing. Explain the reason why we're doing this line out like this. All right, so that's all in the sanctuary. And let's drop this in size just a little bit so we have some more space. All right, so we're going to obviously add a computer here. And there's going to be 2 options. This can run presentation. Because they are interested in scripture and all this other stuff going into the system. So that's going to go here. That will be a regular blue line in. If this needs to be done differently, we can always add an HDMI to SDI converter and add it to the system, which actually we're going to do. I don't know why I even played around with it. So we need to add a that's a HDMI to SDI input. That's going to connect here. And that will bring presentations in, and that will be one of our inputs. So we got input 1, 2, 3, 4. We're only using 4 inputs so far. All right. Now that's the sanctuary. Now, obviously, all the audio and everything like that is taken care of. This is going to be just XLR directly into the system. So that's going to make that easy because they're going to be sitting right beside each other. And yeah, that's it. And then our outputs, we're going to do 2 monitors here in the actual media area. Let's shrink these here a little bit. We're going to use 2 of these. Then one is going to be for the multi-view. And then the other one will be for the, it's going to be for the sound engineer so they can actually see the finish. So this is going to be another program out. And of course, we're going to have those inputs going into the Smart Video Hub. So that's going to be program. This is going to be multi-view. All right. And I guess I should have slid those over some more. So you got the program and multi-view so they can both see them. Even though the production 4K does have multiple auxes out, I don't think we're needed for that right now. But again, the option is we could remove the 20 by 20 and go with those aux outs that give us more functionality with the production. But I like this setup for that same reason. All right. So with this, the audio is being also fed to our live stream, but it's also going over to here. And the outputs from here are what's going to our TVs over here. And this is starting to get really dirty in the layout here. All right, so that's how that's going to go. So the program is going to go here. That's going to actually be in front of the board, which somebody is still going to be in the sanctuary with an iPad controlling it. So they're actually in the room so they can hear how it sounds. But there's probably still going to be somebody there near the compact, you know, so we can do something else. Now, this computer, if they decide to go with OBS, it can give them that functionality. Or, you know, we're going for gusto over here. In this type of setup, let's go with the web presenter, 4K. So that way, they just got to hit a button, and I'll handle the live stream, and then the production will need to be done on how, if you're doing just a live stream out or graphics out or something like that, that will all be done there. And my cable management is getting out of control. I'm trying to move the box. So this will allow the web presenter to handle the live stream, and then we would send whatever I mix. This most likely might be an aux, because actually, yeah, let's do that. I actually wired this wrong. We're going to come straight out of the production 4K to the web presenter. And that's going to be only the live stream. That will be the web presenter will handle the online community. That's something completely different. The program can go to the TVs and everything inside the sanctuary as well. All right. And I didn't even wire up everything here, but know that everything needs to be wired. So to our network here. All right. Something like that. All right. So everything is wired. Everything is up and connected. So the joystick will be able to see the cameras on the network. Anybody with an iPad over here can see everything. And that's how everything's talking to each other. Now, let's add a little mix into this. Again, since we're going to be in the same room, there's going to be another TV that you saw already. They're thinking about getting a bigger one. That's going to go inside the fellowship hall. And just like the others, I don't know why my V key always gives me some issues. All we're going to do is just like that. We're going to run another output that will feed this TV. And again, we can pick whatever output that we want on here. Maybe I should have put that over here. Nah, this works. For there. Now we also have a TV downstairs. We're just going to do the same thing. just all we got to do is run a coax cable down there or RG6 cable, down there, and then we are good to go. Now, one other unique thing is they already have a Canon Vixia R800. And instead of buying another camera, what I recommended, because right now downstairs they have that baptismal area. And actually, this should be downstairs TV. This is a Canon R800, right? So instead of putting another camera down there and getting mics and all this other stuff, when they have baptism, we're just going to have where's it at? An HDMI to SDI converter placed down here that connects the camera here. And then we're just going to run an SDI cable all the way back upstairs into our smart video hub. And now that is what's going to give us baptismal shots downstairs with the equipment that they already have. So let's go ahead and count how many inputs we have to make sure do we need to go with the 20 or can we go with the 12? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure I got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7 inputs so far. Now, how many outputs do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 outputs. So we may be able to go with the 12 by 12. All right. So let's go ahead and say that 12 by 12. All right. I always like going for more, and so that you have them in case, because we never talked about if there were any TVs that need to be anywhere else. So I might still say, let's go for the 20 for 20, but I will highlight that as an option that they might want to change. Now, why are we going with that? Because the way they wanted this to work is, and actually I think it was supposed to be a camera in the fellowship hall, I believe. I can't remember. I think it was. But either way, the idea was supposed to be that at any point in time, this back TV, and actually I stand corrected, we actually need to, I'm probably going to go with them Pro Presenter for this as well too. And if we do that, if we do Pro Presenter, I might not even need to do a converter. We can just put 2 Decklink mini monitors similar to what we did at Spring Creek. We'll just do 2 mini monitors, and that would give us our 2 inputs, and we can stay everything SDI. So this would be stage display, and this would be audience. Yeah, I think I might go with that instead. So it kind of gave my hand of what we were going to do. The idea is they want this to be able to be a stage display, and this can be the cameras. It could just be the audience. It could be a mix. Then downstairs and the fellowship hall can be a mixture of this stuff as well too. And they want all 3 areas to be used at the same time. So if it's a sanctuary and it's an overflow, upstairs and downstairs, everybody will be able to see stuff. If they want to separate it, then the fellowship hall area, and now that I'm thinking about it, they did need to do this. The fellowship hall area will want to be able to live stream as well too. So most likely, what we would do is have another ATEM, maybe an ATEM Mini Pro or something like that or another computer or something like that can live stream, so that each section can be something different. Because we already got audio, so we would need some form of camera in that area with a jack or something like that, so that it can be plugged in and used in that section. The only thing that's really missing inside the fellowship hall is a camera as well as a separate computer for live streaming in that area, which honestly would be simple because we just got to connect it here to our smart video hub and just output it appropriately. That's why I love the smart video hub for routing. Make stuff really, really easy. And my lines are starting to get out of control here. All right. So that's kind of the setup of what we got going on. And also, I didn't mention this. We're looking at doing here as well too, P16s for the musicians. So that would just be a connection here. And then we would have, just like we've done in the last couple of installs, they'll have stuff for each one of the musicians and maybe other mics, don't know. But this is an overall view of what we're going to look at doing at Guildfield. I'm going to go ahead and write this up. Now, I think they're going to move pretty fast on this because, again, these ceilings are open. And the main thing that I would want to do is at least run all of these connections, which are mainly just SDI connections, Ethernet cables, and then run cables for the speakers, which shouldn't be that difficult because everything is going to be connected to the S16. All we're going to do is run an EtherCon connection from under the stage all the way up back over to the booth. And as long as I can get past that wall, that should be straightforward. But I'm going to write this up and see what we can do to help them out with all of this stuff. So link is going to be down below to every single thing that we going to use in this type of setup. Let me know if you have any other questions, if you want me to write up something similar, if you're interested in it. And of course, if we get this contract, we're going to bring y'all along and so y'all can see the entire process of how we do this stuff. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ, and we'll catch you on the next video. Later.